Caillou, could you come down here please?
What is it, Mom?
As I have told you a few weeks ago, I have recently been given the opportunity to apply to be promoted to the position of Department Manager for the Randolph Valley County Government Department of Finance. But in order to be promoted to that position, I will have to do a job interview for the new position, and I am supposed to have that interview later today. I also happen to be scheduled to work from home for the rest of the week, due to maintenance work that is being done in my office, so that means that I will be having this job interview virtually from home. It is very important that there are no disturbances in the house during this interview, so I am asking that you will be doing something that is quiet during my interview. Your father will still be at work during that time, and your brother is at his friend's house, so I just want you to make sure you have something to do later today that is quiet.
Alright then. I was thinking that I might go to my girlfriend, Clementine's house.
Well, first I'm going to check your grades online to determine whether or not you are going to be grounded for having bad grades.
Wait, what?
You know the rule. If your father or I check your grades and find that you have failing grades in any of your classes, when we ground you until you bring your grades up. Anyway, I will check them now. What? You have all F's in your classes? Are you serious?
Well, I guess I do. So, can I still go to Clementine's house?
No, you may not. You are grounded until you bring those grades up. And besides, you have your final exams this week. Considering how bad your grades are, you really need to study for those exams so that you can bring up your grades, so I think you should start studying for your exams right now and do that for the rest of the day.
I can't believe that I got grounded, just because I have all F's in my classes, and now I can't go to my girlfriend, Clementine's house. This is so not fair. I'm so angry at my mother for grounding me. What should I do? Wait a second, I have an idea. My mother is supposed to have her virtual job interview at home later today, and she says that it is very important that there are no disturbances during her interview. Well, I'm going to completely ruin her interview, and hopefully that will teach my mother a lesson about grounding me. First, I will try to find out when her virtual job interview is. Alright, I'm going to go on my mother's computer to see when her interview is supposed to be. Alright, her interview is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. That is in about 1 hour. I will now think of how I will ruin her interview. Oh, wait a minute, I see my mother's job resume on her computer. I'm going to make her resume look really bad if she uses it during her job interview by changing her resume and writing false information on it to make it look really bad. Alright, the first section is about her education, where she wrote about her high school experience and college degrees. I will edit this section to make it say that my mother dropped out of school when she was in middle school. Then, I will edit the work experience section, where my mother wrote about a job that she currently has. I will edit this section to make it say that my mother was fired a few years ago for stealing from the workplace. There, I had finished changing my mother's resume to make it look really bad, by writing false information on it and just deleting a lot of the other things on it. There, I think that bad resume should be enough to ruin my mother's job interview, but I will still think of other ways that I can ruin her job interview.
Alright, it is time for my virtual job interview. I will log on to the video chat right now. Good afternoon, Mrs. Anderson. I am Kate Ellis, the Randolph Valley County Manager.
And I am Victor Andrew, from the Human Resources Department. We will both be doing this interview. You are applying for the position of Department Manager of the Randolph Valley County Government Department of Finance. The first thing we would like to do is see your resume.
I sent my resume to both of you in an email just a few minutes ago. Okay, we will open it up right now. Mrs. Anderson. Yes. Something seems to be not right about your resume.
Yes, I am looking at your resume, and something seems to not be right.
Well, I will look at the email that I just sent you, but I am not sure what would be the problem, and... oh my gosh! Something is definitely not right. This is not what my resume is supposed to look like. I did not write these things on my resume.
Well, I can hear my mother's job interview, and it sounds like the interviewers in my mother's job interview are saying the false information that I wrote on my mother's resume to make it look bad. But now, I'm going to make this even more interesting by turning on these speakers and playing loud music.
But I can guarantee you that this is not the resume that I made, and the information on the resume that you received in that email is false, and... please excuse me for a second. I don't even know why these speakers were on. The only person in the house that could have turned these speakers on is Caillou. Wait a second. Caillou must be responsible for this. I told him not to make any disturbances during my interview, but he did anyway, and it seems like he did it on purpose. Oh, I think he is also the one who wrote all that false information on my resume. He's going to be in really deep trouble. But first, I need to go back to my job interview and try to explain all of this.
There. I just turned off my mother's computer. That will make her job interview go even worse. Oh, she's coming back in here. I'm going to hide.
Alright, now to get back on my job interview, and... wait. My computer has been turned off. This is really bad. I need to explain to Mrs. Kate and Mr. Victor right now, and this just makes it worse. Well, I guess I should start my computer up now. Anyway, while I wait for my computer to start up, I'm going to deal with Caillou right now. Caillou Anderson, get over here right now. Caillou, I mean it, you are in really deep trouble right now.
Oh no. I'm in trouble now. I guess I'm just going to keep hiding behind this chair here, and...
Wait a second, I hear a phone ringing in here. Caillou Anderson, you are in such deep trouble. Stand up right now.
Well, Arthur really just called me at one of the worst possible times, and...
Whoa, Caillou, I want you to explain the meaning of these disruptions to my job interview. You must be the one who is responsible for them, since you are the only other person in the house, and you also must be the one who is responsible for changing my resume and putting all the false information on my resume.
Alright, fine. Yes, I did turn on the loud music and turn your computer off during your job interview, and I did change your resume to include that false information, just because I was so angry at you for grounding me, just because I had all F's in my classes, and I wanted to teach you a lesson about grounding me.
That's it, you will be grounded for this. First, we will get back on my job interview and try to explain all of this to the interviewers, and then I will ground you for this. Let's go over to the computer now. I would like to apologize for all of the disruptions that have happened during this interview. This is my son, Caillou, and he is the one who is responsible for all of it. He is a troublemaker, and he was angry at me, just because I grounded him after he has all F's in his classes at school, and so he thought it would be a good idea to try to ruin this interview. He is the one who wrote all the false information on my resume that was sent to you, and he was the one who turned on the loud music and turned off my computer during this interview. I am very sorry that this happened.
Well, we understand. We knew that the information on your resume could not be true, because first of all, when it said that you were fired from the Randolph Valley County Government Department of Finance, we knew that wasn't true, because that is where you are currently working, and have been since 2006, and second of all, we knew that you did not drop out of school during middle school and never graduate high school, because you could not be eligible to work for the county government if you never graduated from high school.
I think it will be best to just reschedule this interview for another time. I was thinking it could be next week, when the maintenance work in the office is done and we can go back to work at the office, and we can do this interview without having to worry about any disruptions from your son. Yes, that sounds good. Thank you for your understanding, and again, I'm just very sorry that this happened. Well, I think we can end the video chat now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Caillou, you are grounded for a month for ruining my virtual job interview. I just can't believe that you would do that, just because you are upset that you got grounded. You deserve to be grounded, because you had failing grades in all of your classes. You should appreciate that your father and I work hard to earn the money to support this family, and not trying to ruin my chances of receiving a promotion at work. Go to your room right now.
What? Hey.